What's going on, friends? Michael McFarland here, the Lake Fork Guide, getting ready to give you a public rundown. Now, everybody knows that I've taken the rundowns to the members' corner and I've kind of fattened them up a lot more in that members' corner to drive you there. A lot more detail. I don't want you in the public to think for a second that I'm going to lean this out where it's not worth watching. So we're going to give you a pretty good public rundown right now for basically the first, second week of February, okay? As usual, let's go aboard. The first thing I want to talk about is the lake level. Guys, this is usually the most important thing this time of year. Right now, from Monday to today, we don't have much drop. We're looking at 39689, which is 6 feet 2 inches below full pool. And by today, we're only another, 2/8 of an inch, or I'm sorry, 1/4 of an inch, 2/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch change. So the rate of drop is slow, but this is the key. Remember, falling water points fish out. This kind of can make a dilemma in the spring. When these fish are wanting to migrate into these backwaters, they are progressing into staging areas and wanting to go up into those spawning flats as we warm trend, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. Water's falling, it complicates things a little bit, okay? Water rises, fish rise. Water falls, fish fall out. So we are falling out, but at such a slow rate, there really is very little effect, okay? Water's coming, we're going to get some rain. There's another report about the dam, and I haven't had a chance to read it all. Let me get through it today, and the next report, I'll let you know where we're at. I can't assume anything, so I don't want to say anything. But they did do another press release about the work on the dam. As soon as I get my hands around that, I'll let you know what's going on there. Water temperatures, man, from Monday to today, some really big parameters have changed, okay? Monday, 48 to 51. That was the parameters that I could find between main lake and backwaters. Now we're finding 48 and 54 degrees. That's a lot of temperature in just a few days. Welcome to Texas, man. Shallow water lakes, dirty water warms up fast. It's the Texas two-step, okay? So a week of warm and a week of cold, and a week of warm and a week of cold, and the fish move in and the fish move out. So keep in mind that the most important things right now to actually spending the time, if you're coming this weekend, it should be pretty good because we have warm trended. And as we warm trend, the progression of activity increases. As we cool back down with the next cold front, just the opposite, okay? So lake clarity, man, it really depends on where you are. Pretty good water, good colors. I talk about Lake Fork green and gunmetal blue all the time. It's something Mark Pack taught us all. If the lake is in good shape and healthy water, it'll be gunmetal blue and or Lake Fork green. Tends to be gunmetal blue in the cooler months, Lake Fork green in the hotter months. But clarities are 1 to 2 foot, depends on where you are. And that's really the details of the lake, okay? Leave that up there so you can see it. Let's talk about fishing. All right, I told you I was going to do the members only and not share as much to drive you over there, but I'm going to fatten it up for you. A little public report to tell you. The best thing, and probably the only way you really should fish right now, is in the channel swings, 2 to 10 feet of water, jigs, Texas rigs, Cincos, Texas rig creature baits. My favorite jig, as always, is going to be a sand tone jig. We're not going to use a football jig for this case. We're going to use a rattling jig. And they have, generally, I like 2 different kinds of trailers. If they're real active, I'm going to have paddle tails. If they're non-active, I want to have this straight, okay? Less action when it's colder, more paddle tails when things are warm trending, okay? If you don't know what a creek swing is, then you really need to do some homework because it's very important. When the creeks are like snakes and they wind from the shallow water down to the deeper water in any lake, okay? Those swings make a point on one side and they make the swing on the other side. A point and a swing. The swing generally has big stumps, trees, and roots, okay? They bed in all those roots. They spend their time in those roots when it's not nice. These are Florida stream bass. They don't like it cold. They go bed down. That's like a bedroom. They get in that swing itself and they stay tight in those roots, okay? You have to get that bait in those roots to catch those fish, okay? So it means you got to have contact with the wood. You must be feeling the crunch of that bait falling down in there, okay? The other side is a point. This is the uniqueness. That warm trending, the fish ready to go feed or sunbathe, all they got to do is go 20 yards or whatever that distance is. Sometimes it could be 10 feet. And they can pull up on a point. Remember, points, falling water, points them out. So you got a little bit of everything. You've got the swing to be in when it's bad, and then you've got this point that they can pull up on and sunbathe, etc., and warm trend. So there's a little more information. Channel swings anywhere from probably 2 to 10 feet of water right now. Black and blue jigs are the very best thing you could be doing. So if you're coming out this weekend, that's what I'd be doing. Okay. Another thing we're going to add to the public report. I know a lot of you bass fishermen, you can just go ahead and check out right now because I'm going to tell you a little bit about crappie fishing from now on. A lot of people do love to come here. If you're just fishing for fun and you don't care if the bass fishing's not good, go crappie fishing because Lake Fork is loaded with them. Loaded with them. I suggest highly that you do have some kind of live scope, AccuView. The Garmin live scope's the best. And what I do know about the crappie right now is that they're scattered. They are a little slow because they're scattered, but everything's moving. We warm trended. So it was out deep. Even the crappie are changing. The bait's changing. It's all migrating to the banks, beginning to move to those shores. So crappie fishing's pretty good. They're scattered. Come on out to Lake Fork. It's fishing well, guys. I really appreciate you watching. Hit the thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe to the regular channel. Hit that subscribe button, please. And if you think about it, you really want to, I'd love to have you subscribe to my members only. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Mike McFarland, the Lake Fork Guide.